Hi guys, welcome to the Chase and Hyperspace podcast. This is me, Chase, right here, and apologies about the lighting or the backdrop or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm a bit hyper today, so let's get right to it. Excuse me, I just ate. So, uh, there's this guy Alexander Solzhenitsyn. He wrote a series of books, or like an overall book which contains many volumes in it, called the Gulag Archipelago. And he has a quote here, and let me read it. Let the lie come into the world, let it even triumph, but not through me. The simple step of a courageous individual is to not take part in the lie. And this quote means a lot to me because I try to find like the truth or whatever. I question the truth at times, and it's like the what's it called? The status quo, is that the right way to say it? Like the norm, basically what everyone else is doing. I status quo. Let me look this up. Definition. And okay, the status quo is the existing state of affairs, especially regarding social or political interests. And so basically, the general interest of everybody around you, and it's like just kind of subordinating to, I want to say mediocrity, or just like what everyone else is doing, and not really being an individual, just kind of surrendering your own kind of will or whatever to, or yourself, really, to that of other people, in a way. Just kind of like a herd mentality, or even like a mob mentality, for example. Excuse me. And so that's something I've thought about, is so I try to do like a carnivore diet, like where I basically only eat animal products, or specifically like meat only. I try to do. And if there's one thing that there's like two really big things that God has like spoken to me, I want to say. And one of the first one of the first biggest kind of experiences that I had communicating with what I want to call God, or something that is like higher power kind of thing. I was just looking for answers, like what do I do, like wanting guidance and stuff. And at that point in my time, I was like out of a relationship, and I was like trying to just figure out what to do from there on out. And what God basically spoke to me was that I have to love them. And when I was met with that message, I had so much resistance to that. I'm like, why do I have to love them? Like, I was literally visualizing like all these different ways I could die because of them, and just like all these horrible things. And it's just this resonating thing, like you have to love them, like love them. And I was like, I kept saying why I was crying. And And but then it was like I kept asking why, but it was like I knew, you know, or it was like I understood. I want to say that I understood. It was like I knew why, and and if I could try to say why, I guess is more so like because they need it or something like that, because it's what they need. And it was like this whole thing where I was like just so like that just I don't know, is like that has like been like burned into my mind like a trauma, I suppose. But I want to say it's like a reverse trauma. Like it's not necessarily like traumatizing it in a way that is like malevolent or anything like that. It was just more so God, like holy shit, like that is like the realest fucking shit. Like it's just kind of like a no matter what, I have to love them kind of thing. And and that messed me up pretty bad somehow. Like it gave me clarity, but that's like the hardest thing. It was like it's like it's what I didn't want to hear, basically. And I feel like that's how everybody is. It's like the truth or whatever. A lot of times people like they don't it seems people don't really want to hear it. There's obviously gonna be some people, like hopefully whoever's watching this can have some capacity to bear some of the things I say, I suppose. But yeah, like that idea of just having to love somebody or whatever. I feel like at some point God basically gave me I negotiated with God, I feel like, and I still have to love that person. And I want to say I do love that person, but God like put another person in my life, and it was like the same thing though, and it still is the same thing. And it can be very hard to it can seem very hard to love somebody, it like given anything really, like if they hurt me, etc. It's like I still have to love them. And I'm not really talking about like an abusive relationship and just staying in an abusive relationship. I just mean loving that person regardless, kind of thing. Even if you have to make sure you don't, or just protecting yourself from harm if you can, but yeah, so there's that. And then another thing that it was like very similar in the emotions and shit. Like it was like something I didn't. It was just like so much truth or whatever that it was like. I was just crying like uncontrollably. It was like this thing where it's like I was dealing with like a lot of like bad eating and stuff. Like I was having binge eating, and like I felt like I was doing damage to my body, and I felt like I was losing my own free will. And like I was like, does free will even exist? Because like it's like I don't. It's like I can't. It's like I don't have any control over myself, kind of thing. And then it was like God said to me that in order to not live a lie, I have to eat only animals. like something like that. I wish I could. Yeah, like just animals, I want to say. Um, it's like a truth ideal thing that, like, it was. It's like I so badly didn't want to live a lie because I felt like if I were to do one thing, if I were to do, if I were to, poison myself with a certain kind of food or whatever, it wasn't just me that I was affecting or like deadening, really. It was like other people too. Like, it's like I saw my influence on other people and how I can lead for better or worse and how my actions impact other people. And, I'm still dealing with this truth, I want to say. It's, and just like not living a lie, and I mean, it can feel, it's like if I ask God or whatever, like, like what's the truth or whatever, sometimes it's like it can seem like too much or something, like it's like too radical, and it feels kind of outside of my own sovereignty or like free will of choice or something. And so I have like this resistance to the truth, and at times, and it's like you get to choose basically. It's like this or that, and I feel like we're all kind of like in that. And it's I just want to speak about this whole thing and kind of like bring it back around. So yesterday I was dealing with like some really, I want to say, like intense emotions, like feeling like I was with this person or whatever, and then this was like a long time ago too, probably like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, within that time frame. I was with this person, and we're in a relationship, and it eventually like fell through, and they cut off contact. I can't talk to him basically. I still have like dialogue with them in my own head though. Like I've been just kind of dealing with that, and I've had like a commitment to them, I want to say, over like an overarching commitment to them. God tells me to love them, and it's like I try to listen and obey that, really. And yesterday I was just kind of thinking, I don't know how it came about. I guess like God whispered to me or some shit, maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago. He kind of clued me in to the fact that like I'm hurting somehow, and it's like I was trying to think of like how I'm hurting, and then they're like, it's my dad, like something to do with my dad, and like I was like trying to figure that out. I don't think I really made that much progress on that, but yesterday I was like thinking about like how I might be hurting or whatever, or like what's hurting me kind of thing, and I can't say for sure if this is like true or not, but I had like this, it like flashed in my mind kind of, or like I just like remembered being with my ex when I was with them at the time, and how they we had like kind of like a mutual friend group, but it's all people off the internet. And that's actually how I met them, is through the internet. And it was in a big chat, and there's a lot of people in there, quite a bit of people. And I just eventually got to be friends with them or whatever, and like got deeper into conversations, and it got romantic. We ended up like seeing each other. But I remember like one of the times, both times really, when I saw them, they would like be on their phone or whatever. And I remember they told me how like they it was, I don't know how to explain it okay, I'll do my best. It was like they told me that they said that they loved this person or whatever. They're like, I love this person. And I was like when I'd see them on their phone or whatever, and not really like giving me attention kind of thing, it was like I just kind of like tried to be stoic about it and just kind of just sit there and be like, okay. I felt like I wasn't really that into being into my phone. Like I just wanted to be with them kind of thing. And then yesterday I just kind of thought about like how they could have like loved another kind of thing, and not me kind of thing. And I don't know, it just seemed to like, it hit me in such a way that it was like I felt like I didn't really know them anymore. And all this time, even though we've been broken up, that I like had was like committed to them and all this, and then I'm just like, I just want to move on. And just wishing I could be done with just be done with all of it kind of thing, and just move on. And feeling like I just like a lot of time and stuff into it, and I was hurt for some reason. Like it was like a broken heart kind of thing. And yeah, but then I'm like, I just want to move on. But then I'm like, God, I like try talking to God or whatever, and they're just like, love them. And roger that, okay. And it was just like still loving them no matter what. And but there's this thing in me that was just kind of like, it was weird. When I was all heartbroken and stuff, it like, I felt like I could see like this, I want to say like insecurity, or like this in almost like an instability or something in my being or something, like having a feel. Oh, I dropped my phone. But having a feeling of like being heartbroken and stuff, I think that can lead people to like self-destructive behaviors and stuff. Like basically the cliche of eating a bunch of ice cream or whatever, and sobbing and being sad, and kind of like a why me, and like, what did I do to deserve this, and kind of thing. And so I kind of had that. And I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast or something, it was like it was this guy. It was like this guy who's like a fanatic of chocolate or whatever. And Joe Rogan, he said he brought up how like eating chocolate makes you feel loved or something like that. Like there's something there in the brain to like um have like a feel good response or something. And or perhaps maybe it's the same area of the brain that is like that lights up when people are in love or something like that. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's like I think it like just a little nerdy thing, but I feel like MDMA and chocolate or something. It's like that. Is it the NMDA receptors that I don't know. Okay, but basically it has like a drug effect like chocolate does. It has some psychoactive effect to it. Cacao, whatever. Anyways, so I felt like this justification or something, and it was like paying tribute to like heartbreak or whatever, where it's like there's like chocolate, it's paying tribute to heartbreak or something like that, and yeah. So I want to show you guys something. So I fucking picked up some chocolate. It's La Canto sugar-free chocolate, monk fruit sweetener, 55% cacao. It's got 3 in the whole bar. It's 350 calories. The total carb is it's either 3 or 6 grams of net carbs. I'm not quite sure. Okay, net carbs subtract fiber. So yeah. So 14 plus 23. That's yeah, so it's about like 6 grams of carbs in this whole thing. And it was like I got it knowing it was a lie. It was weird. I was just like, I remember like crying or whatever and being like, I know it's a lie. It was weird, but yeah. I mean, it's weird, you know, people will like eat chocolate and stuff when they're all heartbroken, like ice cream, and but it's like, why, if it's a lie, like what does that really mean, like the depth of it? And it makes me think, like, is a heartbreak a lie? Because, you know, I was having this, you know, I felt like this thing where it's like, you know, they don't love me and I've loved them this whole time. You know, I was sure of it, you know, but like, it's kind of like that thing, but what's actually the truth, you know? What is really, truly true? And that you know, I almost feel like I haven't really thought too much about it, but as far as I have thought about it, it's like that thing where it's like you either have this or that, you know? And, you know, I think it almost seems like, you know, you can live a lie and follow pleasure and, you know, feel sorry for yourself kind of thing. Or it's kind of like being a victim or something. I don't know. Or it's almost like an indulgence in being unconscious, or, you know, not really having the, kind of like neglecting the truth or something. Like a willful blindness to the truth, maybe. Because, like, there's like there's like the rewards of not being 100% honest, I suppose. Like there's like kind of just like chasing pleasure or whatever, and you know, there's to where the truth is, I would think, like beyond pleasure, or like beyond like everything, you know. Like I want to say beyond the truth kind of thing. Like there's just, it goes deep somehow, and putting it in words seems to not really do it justice. Like I feel like love is like a state of being or something like that. Is, you know, it's not really, perhaps it's like inexplicable, beyond language. I don't know if it's beyond language though. But yeah, I think I'll just kind of keep this short and sweet. But yeah, I got, I got the chocolate or whatever. I actually got 2 of these chocolate bars. I had one today, and you know what? It tastes 99% like chocolate. And if people like, it's basically like a low carb chocolate. Like if you are gonna eat chocolate, just give this stuff a try, dude. Like honestly, like even if it was a fucking lie, like I'm glad that I like tried it, because it's like people who like insist on sugar and having carbs and just constantly spiking their insulin and being insulin dependent, I think is the word, or just like in that cycle of addiction, basically. Monk fruit, like zero carb sweeteners, you know, just do your research on them though, because there's probably some harm with them, but you know, it's probably less than sugar. Like it's like, okay, this says it perfectly on the back, okay. You know, this sugar-free, dairy-free chocolate bar has all the benefits of chocolate with fewer carbs and fewer calories, because chocolate should be a pleasure, not a guilty pleasure. Like if people are gonna, it's like there's pleasure, but you don't have to be fucking guilty about it. Like all the keto alternatives and stuff, like they're really like keto fat bombs and stuff. It can be like gluttony, but it's like not as bad of gluttony as like you know, all the artificial sweeteners, like in syrups or whatever. Like I don't know how to fucking explain it. And just like all the chaos of fucking, oh my god, like corn syrup. It gets worse than corn syrup though. Yeah, like I remember in my days of where it was like I quit the carnivore diet and was just like, see, there's like being the goal for me is a true carnivore diet. That's the goal, okay? But like this, something like that, is like a I don't know. I feel like there's going to be probably lesser and lesser I want to say lapses or like breaches in like my security with the diet, or like cheats, I want to say. um like there's the mind will try to come up with reasons, but it's like, are they really really true, you know? And just like, you know, I I just hope that like this chocolate or whatever doesn't like kill me. Like I don't think it will. You know, I believe in having a strong will and like forgiveness, or you know, basically learning right from wrong, you know. And yeah, but you know, it's interesting to try, um because I will say that it tastes basically just like chocolate, and it's like people are so insistent on like uh having like the real deal. See, this is weird though, because this kind of correlates with a dream I had. I had a dream that my aunt, that she tried to make like these donuts out of like flour or some shit. It was kind of like bread donuts or some shit. It was kind of weird, but like, you know, I'm like, I can see you're trying to like be like have like the healthy alternative, but people just want like the real thing, I feel like. But it's like, this is so like painfully close to the real thing that it's like it's kind of ridiculous. uh, and yeah, and yeah, so I also plan on doing like implementing some fasting. I think my goal is to like complete like 15 days in total of fasting. And but not in a row. I'll probably break it up. I'll probably do like, I'll just skip some days and do maybe some 72s or whatever. Oh, and in some of my in my last video, I think I was talking about how I was having trouble digesting fats or whatever with fat, like they'd make me sick or whatever. And then I'm like, well, it seems to only be 80-20 ground beef that makes me feel that way, or like just chuck roast steak. And, you know, I seem to be fine with ribeye steaks. Bullshit, okay? Like, so that day, it was like after that fucking video, because that day that I made that video, I ate a bunch of ribeye steaks. It's basically as much as I could eat. And lo and behold, I started feeling a little sick. It wasn't bad to where it was like I needed I started yeah, I think I needed lemon juice. I had to like consume some snake juice, which is basically electrolyte water that has a little bit of, has baking soda in it. So the combination of those things helped remedy the nausea, sick feeling I was having. And then I'm like, you know what, I have to just like fast. That's the truth. I need to stop running from it. And like I just began to fast. I skipped a day. I was thinking it was gonna be a much longer fast, like 15 days, but then I broke it early because I'm like, there's many ways probably of getting to it kind of thing. Like honestly, maybe even just like meat and veggies would like help me to cut weight and get there, but like I don't really want to go that route. I I feel like I'd rather do some fasting or um yeah, and so that's what I plan on doing. And yeah, um I plan on just not eating tomorrow and maybe the day after that as well and doing a 72. I basically want to get 15 days in total and just kind of like tally them up. And yeah, I should be able to lose around a pound every day that I do that. I'm like, my low weight is 172. I'll probably get to around 150, honestly, doing this. And I feel like that's like my true weight or around there. Honestly, my true weight is probably like 145 or maybe even less, maybe even 140. It's so ridiculous to say, but it's like, um, yeah, I feel like my true weight is actually pretty fucking low. And then from there, just fucking around with building muscle, having fun on the pull up bar, like doing push ups. I feel like all that stuff will get easier, or it'll be much easier when I'm a lower weight. And then I'll actually feel like I think what will happen is I'll be able to eat more too. Like I'll be able to actually eat a lot of fat and like fatty meat and like use it as fuel rather than being like, oh, this is too much fat, I should just be using body fat kind of thing. And that too is like when I am fasting and I get deep enough into a fast and I'm running off of body fat, I like to run, I like to fucking work out. If I eat a bunch of ribeye and food, I want to take a fucking nap, dude. I don't want to do anything usually. And then yeah, so I think I should just leave it at that. I hope you all have a good fucking day and that you all take care of yourselves and just like chill out if need be. I mean, you don't have to, but it might be awesome to just might feel like therapeutic to find that time, or to give yourself that time to just like zero out and just feel good and not be suffering as much. But suffering's cool, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah. Another thing too. I don't know. I just feel like lately I've been able to just like stand up for myself a little bit more. And just yeah, like I've had people like just recently, I had some friends or whatever just kind of like um almost like ditch me basically, like, and or kind of give me that feeling of like being ditched. And I feel like sometimes people will take things a certain way and like judge you or whatever, but like you gotta really just like see what's actually going on, because it's like people could be judging you based off of themselves, and it's like I almost feel like people hide themselves to they don't want the light on them, it's like that part of them that they think is unlovable or whatever. And yeah, I almost feel like sometimes people will like project certain things, and yeah, and I would just hear God basically saying like, love them, and like just still love them, like continue to love them. You gotta love them, like you have to love them. And yeah, I'll just yeah. I think that'll wrap it up for this one. Alright, peace everybody. Take care. Love y'all.